Today we're talking about Nightmare Alley, Guillermo del Toro's first movie since The Shape of Water. It has a loaded cast and is a remake. It stars Bradley Cooper as a mentalist who's in cahoots with a psychiatrist as they scheme their way to riches. Guillermo del Toro is an amazing director. Every single movie I've seen by him, I've really enjoyed. Pan's Labyrinth, The Shape of Water, Pacific Rim, the Hellboy movies. Everything he's made has at the very least been good. And he has such a way with his cinematography and his practical effects. He grips you in from the beginning usually. Typically his movies look stunning. The Shape of Water is one of the best looking movies I've ever seen in terms of cinematography, and he's also really good at bringing to life fantasy monsters through practical effects. Nightmare Alley seemed like it was poised to be another good movie on del Toro's resume for directing, but I really did not enjoy this movie. I thought it dragged and it wasted its cast entirely. This is one of my least favorite Guillermo del Toro movies. There's no way I can look past the movie's cast. It's one of the year's best, with the likes of Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett, Rooney Mara, Toni Collette, Willem Dafoe, and even Richard Jenkins. This is a stacked cast and everyone in the movie is pretty darn good. I definitely bought the performances, and Bradley Cooper plays one of his darkest characters to date. I loved him in this movie. As well as Cate Blanchett, nobody was off their A game in Nightmare Alley. I just wish del Toro gave these characters more to do other than interacting with each other and having conversations. That's where this movie failed in my opinion. For about an hour and a half of Nightmare Alley, I had no idea what this movie was even about. Like, if I came to this movie with somebody else and they asked me what the first hour and a half of Nightmare Alley is about, I would tell them I have no idea. I had not a single clue where this movie was headed in the first hour and a half. And because I had no idea what this movie was about for a good portion of it, as well as the fact that they underutilized most of the characters and all they really do is converse and interact for most of the movie, it feels so slow. And I really could not imagine myself ever wanting to watch Nightmare Alley ever again. I can marvel at the cast, the costume design, cinematography, and the set design all I want, but that does not mean this is a good movie. In all honesty, there's only one scene in the first hour and a half that stuck with me. It's where Bradley Cooper is performing an act with Rooney Mara. But beyond that, there really isn't anything else that intrigued me or got me gripped to the movie's story in that first hour and a half. Luckily for del Toro, the movie does peak at the climax. That's where I found this movie at its strongest. If only Nightmare Alley's first 2 hours had a similar vibe to the last 15 to 20 minutes, which were actually good, this movie had potential to be one of the best movies of 2021, but del Toro lets the movie peak in the last act or even the last third of the final act, and that's really all there is to this movie. That's the only part for me that was salvageable in Nightmare Alley. It's not tension-filled or scary. It never once got under my skin. It might have a star-studded cast who give cool performances and some of the year's best cinematography, but it wasn't enough. I am giving Nightmare Alley a 57%. Alright, for those of you who also saw Nightmare Alley, did you think it was a good movie, or do you think it could have been a lot better, like myself? Also, what's your favorite Guillermo del Toro movie? Let me know down below in the comments section. And as always, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.